Today we're going to work through the learning target. I can determine whether an ordered pair is a solution to a two-variable equation. And so when we're checking solutions, we plug in the values of x and y to see if they make a true statement. And then there's a little hint here, always put negative numbers inside parentheses. That just helps us, especially when we get into things with exponents, to make sure that we have negative numbers inside parentheses so that we know we're multiplying the negative however many times the exponent tells us to. So for example, letter A says, which ordered pairs are solutions of y equals 2x? If you remember when we're graphing coordinate ordered pairs, they always go in order alphabetically. So the first is always x, the second is always y. The first number is x, the second number is y. So in this case, we're going to plug them into this equation. 10 for y equals 2 times my x value is 5. And does 10 equal 2 times 5? Well, 2 times 5 is 10, so yes. Over here, if I plug 10 in for x, I have 2 times 10. If I plug 5 in for y, 5 does not equal 2 times 10 because 2 times 10 is 20. So this one is not what we call a solution point. 5, 10 is what we call a solution point. So 5, 10 is the ordered pair that's the solution here. Now for this same equation, again, I have negative 1, 2 or negative 1, negative 2. Remember that your first number is always x, your second number is always y when we're looking at ordered pairs. So when we plug into y equals 2x, I'm just plugging this point in. I'm plugging in negative 1 for x, so 2 times negative 1 is equal to y, which I'm plugging in 2 for y. And does 2 equal negative 2? It does not. So this is not a solution point. And for this one, y is negative 2 equals 2 times x. In this case, x is negative 1. 2 times negative 1, a negative times positive is a negative, and 2 times 1 is 2. So negative 2 does equal negative 2, and so the solution point of these two choices is negative 1, negative 2. So ultimately what we're doing here is this equation is an equation of a line on a coordinate plane, the coordinate plane system. And what we're asking ourselves is which of these points fall on that line right here. And we're going to get more in depth into that later on. But really right now we're just trying to determine solution or not solution. Is this a point that falls in this line or is it not? And we do that by plugging in, and we remember that whenever we have negative numbers, we always want to put them inside parentheses. So let's try another one. For example, which ordered pairs are solutions of y equals negative 1/4 x? Again, my ordered pairs are always in alphabetical order, x, y, x, y. So we've got 4, 1 or negative 4, 1. Y in this case is 1 equals negative 1/4 times x, which in this case is 4, or 4 over 1. The 4's would cross reduce here into 1 and 1, and a negative times a positive is a negative, so 1 does not equal negative 1. So 4, 1 is not a solution point. Let's double check and make sure that this one does work though. In this case, y equals 1, so 1 equals negative 1/4 times x, which is negative 4 or negative 4 over 1. We can put any whole number over 1. We know that a negative times a negative is a positive. The 4's cross reduce, and 1 is equal to 1. And so negative 4, 1 is a solution point to this equation of a line, y equals negative 1/4 x. And then we've got down here 1 negative 1/4 or 1 negative 4. Again, these ordered pairs always go in alphabetical order, so the first number is x, the second number is y. Y is equal to negative 1/4, and that's equal to negative 1/4 times x. In this case, x is 1. 1 times anything is just itself, and I've got negative 1/4 is equal to negative 1/4. That is equal, so 1 negative 1/4 is a solution point on this line. If we were going to graph this line on a coordinate plane, this would be a point on that line. Let's double check and make sure that 1 negative 4 isn't a solution point. Y in this case is negative 4. that's equal to negative 1/4 times x. In this case, x is 1. 1 times any number is always itself, so in this case 1 times negative 1/4 is just negative 1/4. And negative 4 does not equal negative 1/4, so this is not a solution point.